Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. Welcome to episode 2 of Coffee and Bricks. Sorry for the slight delay. That was a last minute technical difficulty. This is a live stream, so if you're on, please say hi on the chat. I know there are a whole bunch of people waiting. Sorry to keep you waiting. In fact, let's pull up the chat so that we can see who is talking right over here. All right, whole bunch of people. Fantastic. Robin Hull, the suspense is terrible. I know. Wow, we got so many Gallagade, Woodshop Teacher. Thank you. Iron Man, Brenda, G Group, Lego. Fantastic. Great to see all of you. We're just going to let a few more people come in. I know you've been waiting. And today, of course, we're going to talk about 5 must-have builds for a custom Lego city. It's going to be lots of fun. As always, you can support this channel in several different ways. Very simple. Head over to smallbrickcity.com/shop and buy one of our products, such as this coffee mug. Do not disturb, building in progress. This is where I keep my coffee. So you can support us by that. You can join in the chat, as a lot of you are doing. Fantastic. And you know what? Simple way you can support us: give this video or stream a like. That will really help with the analytics and lets Google know that you guys like this stream. Super chats are enabled. That means you can donate in the live chat if that is open in your country. That's the $ on the live chat. So thank you so much, guys. Oh, there's one more thing, of course. I know several of you are watching this and you may not have subscribed to this channel. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate all subscribers. In fact, in just the last 15 days, we had 500 subscribers join us. So that's pretty cool. Hope to have more. So subscribe and well, it's almost 500. I'm sure by the end of the stream we'll hit 500, but we appreciate all your support. We appreciate you guys being here. All right, so let's talk about the topic, or maybe I'll tell you a bit about the format of Coffee and Bricks if you haven't watched our live stream before. To value your time, we do have a format. So there is a central topic that I'll be talking about. Today we'll be talking about 5 must-have builds in a custom Lego city, and I'll also share with you some of my thoughts on LEPIN, which is a knockoff Lego brand. Of course, we'll do question and answers. Now, I'll have 2 segments where I'll do the Q&A. So obviously when I'm talking to you now and talking about the central topic, I won't be able to answer any questions. So keep important questions, for those Q&A sections that'll be in the middle and at the end of this live stream. But of course, continue to chat among yourselves. I've also a segment called the Small Brick City Spotlight, where I'll give some focus on something I'm working on. It could be a project, or it could be just something interesting. So you do want to stick around for that, because this episode, I've got something interesting to spotlight. In fact, I need your opinion. So you guys stay on the stream, because I need your opinion and you want to check out the Small Brick City Spotlight. You know what you can do as well, because we're interacting with the world over here. Please let us know where you're from and what time it is in your part of the world. This lets us know where you're from, whether this time is convenient. In fact, you can also let us know if this is a good time for the live stream for you, because I purposely chose this time because I think it fits well for the rest of the world. It's now 12 a.m. our time, so it's really the middle of the night, and that's why it's Coffee and Bricks, because I have my coffee over here. And the funny thing is, some people can't sleep when they drink coffee. I'm the exact opposite. I can't drink coffee when I'm asleep. Not sure if that applies to you as well. So let's get on to today's topic, and today's topic is 5 must-have builds for a Lego city. Now you're probably thinking about this. You're probably thinking, am I talking about 5 specific builds, or am I talking about 5 MOCs or official sets? Well, actually, I'm talking about builds, and builds in general. So these are what I consider 5 builds that you should have in almost any Lego city. This might be useful for you if you have a new Lego city or thinking of starting a Lego city. And if you already have a Lego city, this is a good checklist for you. So here it is. So number 1, before you start any Lego city, what I think you should think about are access ways, or roads. Now, I don't just mean roads in terms of roads for vehicles, I mean any kind of access paths. And let me show you what I mean over here. So you can have roads for, of course, different buildings. You can have roads, or you can have roads for different vehicles. But what I'm really talking about is roads for all kinds of things, from vehicles to pedestrians to small alleyways. And if you look at this little setup here, we've got road plates for large vehicles, but we've also got small pathways. I consider sidewalks pathways as well. And you want to have a whole bunch. You do not need road plates. If you do not have the space for road plates, you can use smaller plates for vehicles. They can be one-way streets. You can have part of plates to be for little alleyways or pedestrian-only walks. The idea is you want a collection of different pathways for your custom Lego city. And you can see in the photos that are on screen right now, I've got different size pathways. Some for vehicles, some for mini stalls, some just for minifigs. And I generally don't use road plates myself often. I do have some road plates in the Metro City section of Small Brick City. But as you can see from this setup, I also use a lot of small plates here, and I use them as one-way roads. I also like alleys, and that's what I've done with these 8-stud wide base plates. I think not enough people create alleys in their custom Lego city, so I think they add a lot of charm, a lot of realism, and a lot of texture to your Lego city. So that's the first must-have build, in my opinion, some kind of roads or access path, and of course not just for vehicles. So do you have a variety of access paths in your Lego city? Let me know in the live chat. Now, the second must-build or must-have build in a Lego city is what I call a social build. That's right, social build. You see, minifigs to me are the heart and soul of a city. So you want minifigs, and you want to stage scenes of minifigs. You want to have them all around. If you do not have minifigs in your Lego city, you basically have a collection of buildings that collect dust. So what you really want is a bunch of minifigs to accompany those buildings that collect dust. And to do so in a logical way for Lego City is to have social builds. And let me show you what I mean by what I consider a social build. So for example, in my own Lego City, this is one part of my Lego City called Brick Beach. It's a brick tourist town. So the social builds are the town park where there's a fair. There's also a beach. That's a social build. There's also a theater and also a tourist attraction, kind of a lookout point. And that's just in front of the Palace Cinema. But basically, these are all social builds because they're examples of how minifigs can logically be placed together to really fill up an area. Other examples of a social build may include any kind of assembly area. You could have a theater, you could have a cinema, a convention center, or any kind of open space. All these are social areas, and they really allow you to place lots of minifigs, stage different scenes, and they bring tremendous life to your custom Lego city, which to me is really what it's all about. To me, the Lego city is not about the buildings. The buildings are just part of it, of course, but it's the minifigs that makes a Lego city stand out, in my opinion anyway. So those are two builds. Now let's go to the third must-have Lego build for a custom Lego city, and that is some kind of government building. I think this is just what makes a little town or city official. A government building can be a city hall, a town hall, even a police station, a fire station, or a hospital. All these are official buildings, and I think have a place in a Lego city and just kind of makes it legitimate. If you think of a Wild West town, it's a small town, but they always have some kind of official building like a sheriff's office or maybe a city hall or town hall with a large clock tower, right? So I feel that's a must-have build in a Lego city, and that's a government building. Number 4, well, it's a food and beverage establishment, some kind of diner or restaurant. I know what you might be thinking, that seems like a strange must-have build. Well, Lego seems to be putting out all kinds of cafes, diners, and restaurants, so I guess it must be important. And I think it also gives life to any kind of city, because if you go to any city, there's definitely some kind of F&B establishment where you can buy your coffee, get your food, and therefore I think a must-have build is one of these diners. And Lego has put out so many of these F&B establishments, from the expert modular buildings, which we have the downtown diner. For the creator 3-in-1 sets, we have the corner deli. There's also that sweet desserts pastry place. So there's just so many different cafes, restaurants, diners. So I put that as my number 4 build. Number 5 must-have build for Lego City. What do you think it is? Well, it's kind of a cheat, because I call it any other business. That's right. Any other kind of business that you might want to incorporate into your Lego City. For example, the corner garage I have over here, that's a different kind of business. And really, it's open to you what you have, what you may buy in terms of an official Lego set, or what you might build as a mock. I know it's kind of a cop-out and a cheat, but basically what you want is a collection of different businesses and builds. So you saw the corner garage. I've got smaller builds here, which could be apartments. I've even smaller builds with my market stalls. I've got coffee kiosks. So different builds really work together to create the landscape of your Lego city. I often preach variety and density. To me, that's what really makes a Lego city great. If you can add in variety in terms of the different types of builds that you include in your Lego city, that's great. But if you can pack it in with a bit of density, that's even better in my opinion. Now, some people may look at this and think, hey, this looks a bit too dense. It's too claustrophobic for a Lego city. And I completely get that, because it really depends where you're from. Because I think our personal Lego cities are influenced by our own environments and where we grew up and where we live. So I have always lived in dense city metropolitan environments, and that's why this is really normal to me. Seeing all these dense buildings together with market stalls, this is typical, and to me this is what is a real life city. But I do know some people would live in sprawling estates where there's lots of land and their nearest neighbor may be 10 minutes away. So I can imagine looking at something like that may be just too crazy for them. So build a Lego city based on what's comfortable for you and what makes sense to you. So those are my 5 must-have Lego builds. First one, some kind of access way or roads, not just for vehicles, but all kinds of vehicles, including minifigs, and of course all of different sizes. They can be finished with tiles to make it look a bit more finished, or you can leave them untiled so you see the studs, or you can also put round tiles to create a cobblestone look. It's entirely up to you. Number 2 is a social build, which is basically a place where you can put and stage minifigs. Number 3, government buildings. Number 4, food and beverage establishments. And number 5, any other builds. So there you have it. What do you think? Let's have a look, and in fact, let's pull up the chat and let's see what people are saying. I like to read actually what you're saying. And while you're at it, go ahead and support the channel in the different ways. Simplest way is to like the video, okay? And of course, to subscribe to the channel. We do want more subscribers. That's always good. And let's see what people are asking. All right, here we go. Let me just screw up a bit. Did I miss anything? Tayshawn's referring to Annie. Annie can refer to Kim then. Yes, Annie is on the feed. She's actually awake. She finally decided to stay awake for this live stream because I made it 1 hour earlier. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them. Galagate, she's taking notes. One, very good. You can always watch the replay. Hi Lego Maniac, good to see you here. This stream is only going on for 45 minutes in total, so it's not going to beat your 24-hour record, so don't worry. Okay, we have Lego 17 vehicles are useful in a city. I agree. If you have the space, put in vehicles, but not everyone might have the space. G Group Lego, why don't you build a tourism office? I have a tourism office actually. It's integrated with my bus stop. It's above my town park in Brick Beach, and you can check out my Lego City for Brick Beach and you can actually see that tourism office. That's right, the Lutz. Thank you very much. I always have a trouble pronouncing your name, but you're right. There are 37 people watching. At least there should be 37 likes. That's right. Please go ahead and like the video. Oh, you can dislike it as well. It makes no difference to me. But at least put in some interaction. Let's see. Tayshawn, what is my favorite Lego set? I've answered this before. I've got no favorite set. I always have a favorite set and then I get bored and then I like another set. So I've got no favorite set. Brenda says, I forgot toilets. Number 6. That's true. Number 6. Yes, all Lego cities must have toilets. And if you need help in the toilet department, I've got a tutorial on Lego toilets. That's a small build tutorial. And recently I also put up my mock for public toilets for both male and female. So there's no excuse for not having toilets in your Lego city. Okay, who else do we have? Niels is asking, what's the next mock from start to finish? I have no idea. Lego laminate, yep, you don't have to worry. The woodshop teacher likes the alleyways. Yep, put them in. I think alleyways are really cool and you can put in all kinds of cool scenes. If you know my sense of humor, I always have people pushing sugar in my alleys. Lee Big Mac says, you love Brick Beach, thank you very much, but it needs to be expanded in my opinion. Well, I need to expand the space I have, so that's all I have at the moment to work with. Robin Hull, you need a red light district. Okay, yeah, I think I'm fine with the red light district. I don't particularly see my channel as being a kids only channel or necessarily family friendly. So why not have a red light district? And Robin, I will put you in charge. You will be master pimp, Robin. Okay, so you'll be in charge of that area. No Tita, gaming quality over quantity. It's better to have 10 detailed buildings than 50 white empty cubes. Absolutely, that's a great point. And in fact, when I see some people's Lego cities, the way they work on the Lego cities is they try to fill up the entire space. But as with any practical issue, you might not have the time, the parts, or the money to build a full Lego city to fill up the entire space, especially if you have a large table. So I always recommend working on a small section first, make it really detailed and nice. Having a small, tiny, Lego city that's just made out of two 48 by 48 base plates is much better than a sprawling table that's all sparse and empty. So I'm totally with you. Let's see, we have Christoph. A Lego city should have at least some MOCs. Cities all consisting of the same models are boring. I understand where you're coming from, but not everyone is a mock builder. So I think you can be creative in how you place your modular buildings or your 3-in-1 builds or any standard official sets. So I agree, you shouldn't put them in the same way. You can get creative and you can put your roads and alleys differently and fill up the space with small builds. So I personally think it's okay to have official sets in a Lego city. You do not need any MOCs to have a good Lego city, but yes, MOCs do add an element of difference and makes it unique. Let's see, who do we have now? Mahan says you need 1043 trees. Did I miss something or were you being funny to be that specific? Kalotaro, and a firefighter department. Yeah, that will fall under a government building. You can have a fire department. Lego 17, do I plan on building a bus station? No, I do not. I don't have space for that. Alright, so let's scroll down a bit. I mentioned if you just joined the stream, do let everyone know where you're from and what time it is, because that's always great. We want to know who's in the world watching and at what time and whether this is a good time for you. Twitch Martin, hi, thank you for joining in. Marco Antonio, do you think Lego will bring back the castles and pirate sets? I have no idea, but I hope so. I think that's a great team. Both are good themes. Kawi's Creations, hey Kawi, she just uploaded a video on a nice big beach house. Check out the channel, that's a great mock. Haven't had time to comment on it, Kawi, but I did watch the video. Manolis, please remind me, got any museum? I don't have a museum in my Lego city right now. I do have a video on a history of magic museum. You can check my videos for that particular museum. It's a pretty cool museum built on a 16 by 16 base plate. Wuslin Ho, I built a great metro station. Fantastic, great. Apartments, I agree, any kind of residential area is good. Movie theater, do I have that? Yes, I have the Palace Cinema, although in my case it's a Palace Theater. You can check out a video for that as well. The cinema was converted to a theater where there's this world-class, amazing, super duper great illusionist who's performing there, so you should check that out. And the cinema itself has been moved to the rooftop, so it's an outdoor rooftop cinema. A public pool would be fun. Possibly that takes up a lot of space. So I have a Ninjago district with the sea and the water. They can just swim in the sea. So I don't need a pool. Lee Big Mac, will you ever do another penthouse apartment mock but with different colored bricks? Possibly. Annie actually built that particular apartment. So you should ask her. She'll be the one building it. All right. Who do we have? Make a magic trick. Okay, I'll do a magic trick maybe for the next live stream. Talking about live streams, okay, I just like to let you know I've had so much fun doing these live streams. You know, I'm pretty overwhelmed that there are many people coming in to chat, to comment and watch, and I know that my views for the replay are also pretty high, so I appreciate that. So I thought of doing another live stream, but a different format, a different concept, and I'm going to start that next week. Now, Coffee and Bricks, which is the live stream you're watching now, will always happen around this time, and I'm going to keep this as a weekly live stream, but I'm going to try something out. And this is actually something I call the brick design breakdown. And in this live stream, I'm going to go about 45 minutes as well. This is going to take place on, I guess for most of you, or at least the people in the US, this is going to be Tuesday night, or I guess evening and night. My time, Wednesday morning. For the Australians, that's probably going to be noon Australia time, so hopefully you can pop in during your lunch break. For our friends in Europe, you're going to be fast asleep, so I'm sorry, you probably won't be awake for this, but you can wake up early if you want. But I intend to do this live stream called the Brick Design Breakdown. It's going to be a different setup, a different format, and I'm really going to focus on Lego building techniques and ideas. And I'm also going to choose one particular element or Lego part where we're going to brainstorm and see how many ideas we can come up with to use that part for different builds or mocks. So a live stream with a completely different format. It's going to start next week. So for most of you, that's going to be on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday morning or midday. So if you like that idea, please let me know in the live chat. But that's something I'm definitely going to try out, and I'm going to start next week. So I hope to see many of you there. I know not everyone's going to be there because of the timing, but I also wanted to do it at a different timing to fit different people, probably get a new audience as well. And if you really miss it, you can watch the replay. Okay, I'm going to do the Small Brick City Spotlight. I need a drink. I've been talking non-stop for half an hour now. I'm going to do the Small Brick City Spotlight now. And that's where I'm going to show you an idea I'm working on. I'll get back to your questions later. So if I missed your question, ask me later after the spotlight. Because right now I'm going to set up the spotlight. And this is actually a suggestion by an AFOL from Singapore. Shout out to Jeremy for suggesting this idea. He was suggesting an idea for a Lego Ideas project. If you have been watching my channel, if you haven't, that means you haven't been subscribing. So please subscribe to the channel. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I've been building 3 different mocks recently. There are 16 by 32 studs in terms of a footprint, and they're 1-story buildings. I've built police post or mini police station, a post office, and most recently my Angel of Mercy Medical Center. Now, the reason why I built the medical center was actually due to the suggestion of Jeremy, and he suggested to create a Lego Ideas project with 3 builds to form kind of a city set or essential city build, something like that. So here we have 3 of them all set together, and I've actually modified the post office to be able to fit within this set. So what you're seeing in front of you are my 3 builds. The first one obviously is the police station, the second one is the medical center, and the one coming up on the right is the post office, and you're seeing them in a row. And here it is from another angle. And I've designed all these 3 individual builds to work as standalone buildings, but they're also modular in nature. Modular in the sense that they can be placed together. So what we have here is a simple row. So if you don't have a Lego city, or you have a very narrow space for Lego city, you can put them in a row like that. If you have a shelf, you can display them like that. If you have more space for Lego city, you can now put them like this, 2 sets back to back and 1 at right angles. And as you can imagine, I can rotate, maneuver, and put these different builds in any configuration you want. And what you're seeing in front of you is basically just the different layouts you can create with these 3 builds. So the question is, of course I've already built this, but should I put this up as a Lego Ideas project? Personally, I have reservations. I'm not sure if people will be interested, but then again, I didn't think people would like this particular build as much as they did. In fact, the videos for these 3 builds have been pretty phenomenal. People really like these builds, and I did the building the mock from start to finish. So the question is, would you like to see this as a Lego Ideas project? Would you vote for it, and would you buy for it? Would you buy it? Each building has probably a part count of about 500 pieces, so everything works out to 1,005 pieces. It's still not too big. It is manageable as a Lego Ideas project. So I think the appeal of this is, of course, you get 3 essential buildings you can use for a Lego city, and you can use them together, lay them out in any configuration you want. So what do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Would you like to see this as a Lego Ideas project? And let's see who we have. Let's scroll down. Has anyone said anything about this? Okay, I'm going up all the way and answering some questions at the same time, and I'm sure I'll get down to the Lego Ideas project suggestion. And we have Tayshawn. He says a shopping mall would be cool. Yeah, it would be cool, but it'd be too big. But I think that's something we do intend to build in the future. Mahan, what are your thoughts on the Harry Potter sets? I'm not really a big Harry Potter fan. I mean, of course, I'm familiar with Harry Potter in the series. Don't have many of the sets, but I think so far what they put out is pretty good. They have been representing the different scenes pretty well. Lego Dude, you're from Sweden, and it's 6:30 p.m. Thank you very much. Marco, you're from Norway, 6:30 as well. Thank you very much. And let's see, it looks like the Loots, you like another live stream. Design breakdown, you like it? Fantastic. And let's go down. Manolis, you're asking for a small bar and pub. I've actually done a tavern. I actually did a remock of the fire station, Winter Village, whatever it's called, Winter Fire Station. You can check out that video link. So I changed the fire station into a fire station themed pub. Let's go down. CD Bricks, how you doing? Mock Brick, how you doing? Jackhammer, yeah, of course I know the Jackhammer. He's a great builder. The Jackhammer, TD Bricks, all great YouTubers and great mockers. I'm sure most people know them as well. So let's see. I like the post office. Galagate says, she says I used up all the grey as well. I think you get support, but don't think Lego would push it into production. Me too, Robin, I agree. I think Lego might not push it in production as well. The trend I see with the Lego Ideas, they seem to go for these novelty one-off sets. And the closest thing we've had to, I think, a city set is probably the old fishing store to integrate into Lego City. Other than that, I find them very novelty-based sets. I think what people like is also very strange. I think it's hard to know what people like, and then it's harder to know what Lego would eventually choose. But I think the trend for Lego is to pick the funny, standalone, odd stuff. That's where I think Lego Ideas really fits. Anything that's a bit odd, can't fit in any theme, will work as a Lego Ideas project. Therefore, I personally think too that these 3 buildings would not work as a Lego Ideas project. But that's why I'm asking you guys. The wood shop teacher say voted for the food street, and he'll vote for these 3. I agree. I like the food street, Gastro Alley, but it didn't get much support from the rest of the world. Seeing them together, the post office looks a bit out of place because of the dark color. I think it's fine because you do not want all 3 being homogeneous and the same color as well. But yeah, it is subjective. G Group Lego, do you already have a library? I do not have a library, but it's something I would like to put into my Lego city as well. All right, Nikolai, you say you're super happy because there's a Lego shop opening 5 minutes away from... That's fantastic. That's where all your money will go. I think you should sell the instructions on your own website instead. True, that's another point. Probably make more money faster as well. All right. Let's see. Robin, you said they already flogged a fire station, a police station, a hospital, so no, they won't push it. Good point. You know, I don't track every single thing that comes for Lego ideas because I know what gets passed, but I don't really follow exactly what gets voted in but not chosen by Lego. But the fact that you said that shows that, yeah, it won't go through. So probably I won't do that. I want some sugar. That's what Lee Big Mac says. Maybe I should just do a sugar factory. I'm sure Lego will go with that. Great for the kids as well, right? Pushing sugar and shady subjects all over town. Well, any more questions? I generally want to keep this particular format for the live stream to 45 minutes. I did start a bit late, so we can go on another couple of minutes. So fire away with the questions. More than happy to answer any questions. Bye, Kawi. Thanks for being here. So Annie says we're going to have a sugar and red light district. We'll just combine the two. If we have a red light district, then we can have sugar pushers there. And Robin, you can either be the master pimp, you can be the master sugar pusher, or maybe you can put back the police hat on and you can patrol the area. So folks, once again, thank you so much. I'm not ending the stream just yet. Just as the questions come in, I just want to remind everyone, support the stream, give it a like. That's the least you can do. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Super chats are open if you'd like to donate. If not, just buy something from the website. We've got building instructions, books, and merchandise as well. And if you just want free stuff, which is perfectly fine as well, head over to Small Brick City and you can just subscribe to that website. So you've subscribed to the YouTube channel. Now head over to smallbrickcity.com and there's a separate subscribe box. It's completely free and you can download free Lego stuff like building plans, book reviews, exclusive video tutorials, poster art that you can print up, and a sneak preview to my book, Bricks for Small Places. So all that happening at smallbrickcity.com, and of course you have access to the shop there as well. So let's go back to the chat and let's see if anyone has asked anything. What about a Ninjago style Sin City? That might work, but I do have a Ninjago district and I don't really want to put all the so-called bad elements in the Ninjago City district. Brenda, you have to leave. No worries. Thank you so much for joining. In fact, we'll be wrapping up soon and I value everyone's time. Thanks for staying this long. Why mock brick? Why did you build no technique? Yeah, I'm not really into a technique. In fact, I'm not really familiar with technique parts except for the really obvious parts. I think it's a different skill set altogether, a different type of build, and I'm just not into technique. I just find it a bit too technical, maybe too realistic, and I really like the imagination that I can get out of Lego City building. That's the reason. Kalotaro, bye. Thank you very much. Nikolai, it's going to be a Lego Discovery Center, including a Lego shop. That's pretty cool. I went to the Lego Discovery Center in Japan with Annie. We had a great time and they had a pretty good selection in the Lego store. And of course, there's a pick-a-brick wall, but they go by weight. They don't go by cup. And check out a video I did on the difference between buying Lego from a pick-a-brick wall by weight or by cup. I give some pretty useful tips in that video, so you might want to check that out before you head to that Lego Discovery Center stall. CD Bricks, I'm thinking about doing a 3-hour or more live stream once I get the corner garage. Any tips that will help? I think I personally find these live build streams a bit tough to do. A 3-hour stream is long, so don't expect everyone to stay except unless her name is Galagate and then she stays for everyone's stream. Not sure if she's even still around here. Don't see her around. But a 3-hour stream is long, but it's a good way to interact with different people. People can come in and out of the stream. I think trying to make it interesting, a great example was a recent stream by Lego Maniac. He did a 24-hour stream on the 4th of May. I don't think there's a stream replay, but he really made it interesting. He had games, his camera setup was interesting. He had guests, such as myself, who was on the stream just to break up the 24 hours. So if you're doing a longer stream, I say try to make it interesting, try to make it different. Jacob, who is from the Brick Bakery, when he does his live builds, he has 2 cameras set up, one on himself so that you can see his face and he can interact with people, and one on his hands and the builds. So just think of how to make it more interesting, but do whatever you like and just try to get those subs and that view count going up. Watch out if JC wants to go on a research trip. What do you mean by that? Which shop, teacher? Did I miss something? And let's see, answer a few more. Can you please provide with more details on the new video, Trudy Brick? Or what do you mean by the new videos? I'm not sure what new videos you're referring to. If you're referring to the new live stream that I'll be doing, that basically is called the Brick Design Breakdown. That will be happening every week, but on a Wednesday or Tuesday for most people. But I think you're in Italy, so you're going to be asleep when I do the stream. You would have to see the replay, and this will be on really just building techniques and ideas. Mahan, what did JC forget? Yeah, what did I forget, Mahan? I must have missed your lesson. Oh, talking about, no ticket. Now I get what you're talking about. LEPIN, right? Okay, so I was supposed to talk about LEPIN. That's why I was running short on time. So let's wrap up this conversation and talk about LEPIN and my thoughts on LEPIN. So LEPIN is basically a knockoff Lego company. What they did and how they built their business and made all the money is basically copying, pirating, stealing Lego designs and recreating them. Now, there are 2 aspects of this LEPIN situation. There's the ethical view and there's the legal view. I'm personally not concerned with the legal view. It's the ethical view that's more important. And let me try to explain in as concise a manner as I can. This is an ethical issue, and that's more important than the legal issue in my point of view. The ethical issue is that they stole designs. They didn't create anything new. They basically copied, and that's how they made their money. Now, some people would say, well, they made the mistake of printing the boxes, recreating the artwork, and various things which are copyrighted and protected by law. But if they don't do all that stuff, then it's perfectly fine. But that's a legal argument, and I'm talking about ethical argument. I come from the entertainment industry, so I see a lot of this because I'm a creator myself in the entertainment industry. I design original illusions for magicians and illusionists. I design theatrical stage equipment besides performing them myself. I've written books. And there's a lot of piracy in the magic world as well, and in the entertainment world as well. So people would see one guy do an act and they would copy it. And you can't copy an act. It can't be copyrighted or patented. It's an expression. Or they could just change it. If you did an act with, let's say, white birds, and you did an original act, someone could just use yellow canaries, steal the act and do the same thing, and that would be considered legally a different act. But ethically, it's still stealing. And I found there are 2 types of people in the world. One type of people require laws to be in place to tell them something is wrong. There must be a law that says you cannot murder someone. If you murder someone, you go to jail or you be sentenced to death, whatever, it is against the law. Then these people say, oh, I cannot kill anyone. Then there's the other group of people who do not need laws and regulations to tell them that something is right or wrong. And I tend to think I fall in that category. So even if there's no law or any legal restriction that said you cannot kill anyone, I still won't kill anyone. That just won't be right. I don't need a law or regulation to tell me something is right or wrong. Just like I don't need a law to tell me that LEPIN shouldn't steal for that to be wrong. It is wrong. That's the ethical thing. And I find that the people who are a bit ethically dubious will always go to the legal argument. They'll say, oh, you can't prove it in a court of law. There's no law that covers it. There's a loophole, so it's perfectly fine. It's not fine. It's conceptually wrong. It's ethically wrong. And the reason why we have laws and regulations in the first place for society is because of people like that. People who can't tell the difference between what's right and wrong unless there are laws. But it's a question of ethics, in my opinion. So LEPIN stole. Forget the fact that if they stop printing the designs on the boxes, changing the cover art, or they don't have the Lego logo stamped on the boxes, or they don't even, let's say they don't copy the minifigs, but they still steal the designs. It's still stealing, it's still wrong. Now, what about Xingbao, which is basically a brand from LEPIN, and they sell original designs? Because I also have heard stories where they steal mock designers' designs. So they don't steal Lego designs, but they steal fan designs, and they create the sets and they sell. So some people say, hey, this is okay to buy. It's, in fact, we should support it because they're not knockoff. There's no patent on the brick itself, and they're selling non-Lego designs. You can buy those sets. My problem with that is that brand or business was built on a business of stealing. It's like if you go to a legitimate business, but that business, that's just a convenience store. So you say, hey, it's okay to shop in this convenience store, but it's an open secret that this convenience store is basically opened by drug traffickers who made all their money trafficking drugs and doing harm to a community. And then they took their profits and opened a convenience store to have a clean business. I think it's ethically wrong to support such a convenience store because you're supporting the drug trade or the organization in return. So these are my thoughts. It's not a legal argument. So if you are for LEPIN and you want to use the legal argument with me, it doesn't work. This is an ethical issue. And ethics means that regardless whether there are laws in place, you do what's right or wrong, and you know what is right or wrong. And it's conceptual. I always like to think in concepts, meaning stealing 10 cents is the same as stealing $1. Stealing $1 is the same as stealing $10,000, and it's the same as stealing $1 million, in my opinion, because it's really the principle at work. So that's my little rant and what I feel about LEPIN and the knockoffs and my philosophy to intellectual property theft in general. Now let me head over to see what you guys think in the chat here. Let's see. I think I'm doing too much, so I shouldn't do . So JC ignores the comments. That's what IB Gaming 3345 says. I have no idea what I ignored, so I'm just going to ignore that. Let's see. That's the most complicated math I've ever seen. Lego, that's what Lee Big Mac, I probably missed. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, Galagate, you say with LEPIN, I'd rather save money for my son to buy the real deal, as I personally don't think it's quality product. Yeah, that's another thing. LEPIN doesn't have a quality product. Now, you probably be thinking, yeah, I don't support LEPIN now because their clutch power is not as good, their tolerance is not as good, there are missing parts. But to me, that's just the side point. Even if LEPIN gets to a point where they're as good as Lego, I think they shouldn't be supported. Robin, one of my previous roles was keeping an eye on my organization's IP. People are truly shocked when I used to contact them and tell them stop using our material. Yep, I can imagine. Ingrid Win, did I miss something? I'm not buying any more LEPIN, but I mixed up quite a bit of bricks. Quite important to sort and throw them. Okay, so let me tell you a funny story. So 2 years ago, I bought a bunch of used Lego from eBay. And at the time, I was pretty uneducated in terms of knockoff Lego and Lego. So with this used Lego lot, you call it, there was a bunch of LEPIN bricks, or maybe it's not LEPIN, but knockoff bricks mixed in. So I was building stuff, and there'll be a combination of these knockoff bricks. And of course, I found out later they are knockoff bricks. However, every now and then, if you dismantle my builds, you might find a knockoff bricks. And people have actually called me out because they've seen some knockout plates, just one standing out among the bunch. So if you do see knockoff bricks or plates in my Lego City, let me know. But that's why it's there. Can you make some expensive looking jewelry store? That's from Niels. Yes, I already have. Check out the jewel heist in one of my videos. I did a really elaborate LEPIN store, a jewelry store. It's not a LEPIN, but maybe I should do a LEPIN store. Actually, I should do a LEPIN store, and it'll basically be all rubble. To Humble agree, taking anything without permission is stealing. That's right, it's as simple as that. I totally agree. Lego Lemaniac, thank you very much for agreeing. The woodshop teacher agree on the ethical point of view. I can accept products from Wang or Gobi because they make their own designs, contrary to LEPIN and Xingbao. And I should talk about some of the other knockoff brands. Now, I shouldn't use the word knockoff. These are really other brick companies because legally, I know now I'm talking legally, but legally the patent for the brick design is up. So anyone can manufacture that brick. So those plastic bricks, even to the same specs as Lego, they're legally allowed to manufacture. It's not considered a knockoff. It's considered maybe a Lego compatible brick. But what they can't do is to imprint or emboss the Lego logo on their bricks, on the studs. The other thing they can't do is to use the bricks and studs in 2D representation in their packaging or in the logo, because Lego does hold a copyright for 2D representations of that brick and plate and the minifig. It is a bit complicated, but that's how it is. So companies can legally and ethically produce their own bricks and produce their own designs as long as their packaging is completely different than Lego and doesn't confuse the market. So for example, there's a brand called Panbao. It's a China brand as well, and they actually had a private settlement with Lego. So I believe in the past they produced their boxes so that it looks a lot like Lego. They even called them city sets, or maybe not exactly city sets, but city living or something. So the Lego sued them, but they had a private settlement, and basically they can continue producing their own line of products as long as their packaging is distinct from Lego. They don't use the exact same terms for their themes and don't produce their minifigs. So there are legitimate third-party brick companies. They're not all knockoffs, but LEPIN is definitely not a knockoff company. A Lego Lemaniac, also to mention the horrible working environment for the employees. In Asia, we just call this normal. Do they get fair pay? How about their safety procedures? Where do they get the source of public? What is the environment? Lego Lemaniac, all these are jokes. They don't care about any of that. I just saw a video. My mom sent me a video of a bun where they put the filling with cotton wool to replace what is supposed to be meat. So, unfortunately, this is China. Let's see. While I'm not answering everyone's question, I know I am going to wrap up the chat because we have moved on just past 45 minutes. So I'm just going to wrap up the last few comments. And True Zozer 42, you just came. What did you miss? You missed everything, dude. So watch the replay. We are ending this soon. LEPIN is gone. No, LEPIN is not gone. They, I think, are already back, just under a different name. I did a video on this, and you can watch that video. Have you done an Apple store, Gallagher? No, I have not, because yeah, I haven't. Chubby Bots, great to see you here. Thanks for agreeing. Chubby Bots, great Lego YouTuber. He's a struggling YouTuber. I think he's only got about 70,000 subs, so he does need your help. So head over to his channel. He does wonderful mechs. I think one of the best, if not the best, mech mock builder on YouTube. So check out his channel. Lego Lemaniac, that's my point. We don't want to support a company who blatantly steals and have absolutely no regulations. I agree. So if the whole copyright thing doesn't get to you, yeah, think about the working conditions. Think about just the plastic they use isn't safe for kids to play with. You know, we have no... Some people have complained that LEPIN products are oily. Where does this oil come from? And, you know, kids would play with toys. They put their fingers in the mouth or take the bricks, put them in the mouth, and what happens to them, right? So I agree with that. How about a banana store? A banana store might fit well in the red light district, so I'll think about that. No Taker Gaming here, some of the real designers of MOCs that LEPIN stole from. Great list. Yes, I actually have seen some of these Barnes and Nobles, yeah, the International Hotel. Yeah, I've seen those. Guys, do check out the comment that No Taker Gaming did. He did list the different knockoff designs that they stole from designers who either put them up as instructions or even just put up the pictures on Flickr. But having said that, this I believe was from some time ago, and then they recently, as in maybe the last year or 2 years ago, tried to change the policy by paying these designers, but I'm quite sure they didn't pay these guys. Did I just get... I did. I think Galagate just donated to the super chat. Thank you so much, Galagade. You are incredible. As you know, you were on GJ Brick's stream earlier, and you're on everyone's stream, and you're just such an asset to the Lego community. Head over to Galagade's channel. She's got no content, but she will be one of the Lego fans who has the most subscribers. So subscribe to her channel. Thank you very much, Galagade. And Lee Big Mac, you say, how do I send my minifig to my city? Hit me up on Instagram or email me at build@smallbrickcity.com, and that's the best way to contact me. Trudy Brick, is this a commercial? What commercial? Mahan says she has content. Has she? No, she has no content. I don't believe she has content. But maybe I missed something. She says don't call over, so she's doing reverse psychology. Well, guys, I think that's it. This has really been a fun session. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coffee and Bricks. Next episode will be next week about the same time. During the middle of the week, I will put up the scheduled video so you know exactly what time it is in your time zone and what date. And I hope you join in the chat. Well, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. We are going to end the stream now. And once again, if you are in the area, do head over to the next stream that's happening. That's the brick design breakdown happening next week, midweek. And just check my channel maybe tomorrow or on Monday for the details for that. Thanks, everyone. And finally, once again, if you like to support the channel, head over to smallbrickcity.com. That's where you can get all the different free downloads, and you can also support the channel by buying something from the shop. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon, and have a good day.